How you guys doing today? So we're going to talk about some enhanced fraud protection with our APIs. Can you hear me okay?
No, yes.
How about now? Better? Okay.
Eating.
Right on my chin. Really? Is it sanitary? I'm not sure.
Helping. You said, yeah, you're not sorry. No.
All right. Ooh, that got very loud very quickly.
So,
So, as we all know, fraud is rampant, right? It's growing every single day. I must get at least 2 or 3 text messages on a daily basis saying I violated something or they need payment for this or my package can't be delivered. So with the power of APIs, right, we can help eliminate some of these things from the spam texts all the way down to toll fraud.
the network.
So communications versus account fraud, right? You have phishing expeditions, internal revenue fraud, right? That goes back to what I mentioned before, artificially inflated SMS traffic, right? Pumping of data, right? People can expose a 2FA scenario, right? And start pumping extra traffic, which costs you money. Fake account creation, account takeover from identity theft, device or SIM theft, and social engineering threats. So with our whole suite of fraud API, we can use, we can prevent fraud in many different ways. So we start off with our fraud defender. It acts like a firewall for your communications, right? You can block countries, you can block, all the way down to an individual telephone number, or you can allow all the way down to an individual telephone number, right? So you know exactly who you're talking to. We have 2FA workflows, not only through SMS.
I could block a country except for this one phone call?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so you can, it works just like a traditional firewall would for IP. You can block the country and then specifically open up one telephone number. So if you don't want to do any business with, say, Canada, except one customer, right, you can block it all and leave that one telephone number open. The verify, right, it's a standard 2FA, but not only does it work over SMS, it works over WhatsApp, voice, email, and we also use silent authentication. Number insight, so you can check to make sure a cell phone is actually a cell phone and not a landline being spoofed, as well as who owns that telephone number, right? So if Roger's cell phone number is supposed to belong to Roger, but it doesn't come back to Roger, that potentially is a problem. But then we have the management APIs as well for compliance and reporting. And then we also have a partnership with AWS where we do facial recognition as well.
That's the same.
So back to the fraud defender piece that we just spoke about. So we have a standard version, which is 100% free. It's open to all of our customers through our dashboard. But then we also have an advanced feature. So for $40 a month, if you do get hit with fraud, 90% of the traffic, you don't have to pay for it. So it acts like an insurance policy. So if for some reason it does get opened up and you get exploited, you're only responsible for 10%. Not only can you block the countries though, we also alert. So if you normally only do 1,000 messages to a given country in a day or a period of time, and we see that increase, we can either block it or notify you or both, right? So then you can start investigating why. Did you guys do a marketing campaign and nobody went back and changed the settings for that marketing campaign, or is it actually fraud that's running through?
Yeah.
So with the whole suite of network APIs in between number verification, SIM swap, device status, device location, and quality on demand, these are all the new APIs that are coming. These are considered network APIs. They're going to be offered through a partnership with Ericsson and various carriers that will then be able to do even deeper dips into the carrier network. So the quality on demand is a really fascinating one. So if your application requires more bandwidth and you're at an event like this where the cell towers are congested, you can guarantee that application will get the bandwidth that it needs to be able to process.
Nice.
i.e., I just did a demo, a live demo of the facial recognition with the AWS partnership, and it didn't go through because the beta just sat and spun and finally timed out because the carriers are too busy here, right? So there's a various number of new APIs that are coming too that'll help protect you and your customer from various types of fraud. So they have to. This is a quick use case that's up on our website. I suggest if you want to read it. This was done with a bank over in Europe. So after they implemented some of our fraud schemes, they saw 50% latency improvement of transactions with their customers. They've seen 100% elimination of social engineering attacks, right? Lower total cost of ownership, and tens of thousands of silent authentications per day, which actually helps your customer because now they're not waiting for a passcode to put in, and it makes things just seamlessly and less touch for the end customer. If you want to see any of the demos, there's a demo station on the other side of the floor here. You're more than welcome to come over, and I can show any of the stuff to you in a live demo. Thank you very much.